Hello guys, happy Sunday. Welcome to sportsbookreview.com with Alex from Need for Tips and Joao from MGTennisTipster.com. We're starting our US Open coverage here. Each day we will be looking at the value betting analysis for each day, any sort of valuable betting lines, upsets, main contenders, you name it. And we want your participation. Any matches that you want us to talk about, or if you have any bets that you've got any queries on, let us know, but we're going to kick off straight away. Guys, thanks for being here with me on a Sunday.
Yeah, happy to be here, Natalie. Cannot wait for the US Open to start tomorrow. It's really crazy with a lot of important players missing the action this year, and we have some the youngsters that are doing a wonderful job on hard right now, like Zverev, for example, like Dimitrov. Okay, Dimitrov is not a youngster anymore, but I prefer to say to him like that because other players are older, like Federer, for example, and Nadal. So yeah, really excited to see US Open starting tomorrow. Cannot wait to see the matches.
Yeah, and Joao, myself, and a new guest called Whale_Kappa. We were discussing the draw on Sunday. Sorry, on Friday, and Murray, I believe, has pulled out. Is that right?
Yes.
We were discussing him on Friday, but now he is out. Again, what does that mean, Joao? Headed into the tournament, like Alex said, there's so many favorites that are out through injury.
Yeah, he pulled out yesterday. He said that he'll try to compete before that, but he said that he wasn't at 100%. I didn't feel that he had a chance to win, and he only plays the tournaments when he feels that he can go far and win them. But as we told on Friday, most of these top players have been on the top for so many years. They're taking their bodies to the limit, and they're now all paying the price. It's curious to see them all at the same time, but I believe that also they saw what Federer did last year, that he decided to skip part of the season and return healthy, and they feel that can be a good option, and they're taking a similar path here, not afraid to miss a couple of tournaments but extend their career a couple of years.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
and Federer. Go on, Alex.
The press conference at the press conference from yesterday, I saw him in tears. So it was unbelievable for him to miss such a Grand Slam, the final Grand Slam of the year. And for sure, if they want to continue like that, they will miss also the UK final, the one in London, for the top 8 players of the season. So I wonder who will be participating there in that big tournament, because it's the biggest tournament of the season from my point of view.
Yeah, and but again, it worked for Federer, didn't it? Sort of taking that time out, but it does mean as well. We're seeing newcomers as Zverev, sort of a popular name on everybody's lips. Is he? We were sort of again talking on Friday. He is actually people's favourites to win the US Open. Alex, do you think he can do it? Is there value in it? Should we take him now?
He had a very good hard season, surface season till now. He's playing at his highest level till from my point of view till now, but I don't think that he is the one to take in consideration to win the title. He might he might have a chance, but we have Federer, we have Nadal, we have Cilic. Remember that Cilic did some great matches on hard surface. After that, we have Grigor Dimitrov, Kyrgios, Thiem. So most of those guys can put problems to Alexander Zverev. I think that he's still young. Maybe in next year, maybe in 2 years, he might win his first Grand Slam. But even though he's very popular and he has a lot of fans, he's playing really good tennis for people to watch it. From my point of view, I don't think that we should take him in consideration to win the title. Maybe he will qualify in the semifinals, he will arrive in the final, but from my point of view, he will not arrive to win the title here.
Okay, interesting. And obviously, one thing that I personally find hard with tennis, if you are sort of going for that favorites betting, certainly in the early stages, like now, which is the earliest stage, the favorites really don't present any value. So, Joao, how do you go about at this very, very early stage in the competition when you've not even seen them play? How, for example, we'll get to day two betting in the second video, but how do you go at sort of predicting day one value? Where do you find the value?
The Grand Slams, in my opinion, are the toughest tournaments to analyze in the opening round, because it has the particularity of having a huge prize money for most of the players, and it's not surprising to see a high number of players going with many physical problems, but their main goal is just to step on court, get that prize money from the opening round, which is always a great boost to their career. And this is by far one of this is by far the toughest tournament level, the Grand Slams, to look at the first round because of that. But we still have to look at, we have a lot of matches, 64 in each competition, and have to look at some closer matches, and also some players who usually we can find matches with players that are in a similar level, but some of them have a much higher price than others. And
exactly, this is what I was thinking too. I was looking for the balanced matches, two players that are equal from some points of view, but one of them might be the favorite. I have the same approach like him,
Yeah. The other approach that I like also, it's the fact that some players seem to live to play on Grand Slams, and some of them might be a complete garbage in the US Open series in the previous tournaments, but once they are playing on a major event, they seem to transform themselves. They become a completely different player, and those are also the players who can be underrated by the sportsbooks because of their previous poor performances. But on the Grand Slams, we know that they usually bring their best game.
Yeah, we were talking about that, weren't we, on Friday? One of those players being Venus Williams, that she really brings her A game, and I think that her price right now, which is really long, really reflects that. I think it was 17, between 17 and 21 there. Alex, we were sort of saying that she could be, starting to do a deep run, Venus Williams. What do you think of her sort of likely performance in the US Open?
Yeah, she had a great career in her back. Now her sister is missing the action, and she will be with her crowd. The crowd, the people from USA will cheer for her. So I think that she will have a plus from that point of view. Of course, she at home, when she's playing at home, and most of all in a Grand Slam that she had a wonderful career playing in US Open. I think that she will give her best. Yeah, exactly. The age will not count a lot, but I don't think that she has a chance to win the title. There are a lot of other great players from my point of view this year in this Grand Slam. For example, Sharapova, which will play Simona Halep in the first round. Weird. That is the most weird thing. Okay, Sharapova took the wild card. The USA, the Americans gave her the wild card, which didn't happen in Roland Garros at Wimbledon. So she will play number 2 in the world, Halep. Halep that she didn't win a match against Sharapova till now. So it will be kind of weird to see, okay, Sharapova doesn't stand a chance. But I'm saying like that, the top match of the first round of Halep with Sharapova is really good. But we're talking about Williams. I don't think that she will win the tournament. I think that she will do 1, 2, 3 rounds, really good ones against less rated players. So, and after that, when she will meet one great player, she will lose.
All right. Well, let's stay on the women's side now. Alex, going to ask you if you've got any value plays or any matches that you're looking at. Both of you obviously are going for matches that have players of a similar standard, which is certainly a way to find value there betting. What matches are you looking at on the women's side?
For day one, I was looking at Camila Giorgi versus Rybarikova. Rybarikova, the surprise from Wimbledon, she arrived in the semifinals. I'm not doing a mistake in Wimbledon, but I think that now on hard court she is not a favorite against Camila Giorgi, and the odds for Camila Giorgi are at evens right now to beat Magdalena Rybarikova, and I like her. I like her aggressivity, Camila Giorgi's aggressivity. Her forehand is really good. Her serve is not so good, but she can make it. She can win this first round against Rybarikova, and I'm going with her to beat Rybarikova at an odd of 2.05.
Very nice. And just to remind also our viewers as well, Alex will be doing some in-play betting over at Bookmakers Review. Is that correct? Bookmakers News, which is the Twitter handle.
Yeah, Bookmakers News and Odds Market, two sister sites for SBR from Europe, and we will have in-play bets, also news, and also, as you already know, who is following those two Twitter handles, we are doing a great job in European football, Premier League and stuff like that.
Yeah. Now, the match there that Alex mentioned with Rybakova and Giorgi, Joao, are you betting or looking at that match? Because that is, as far as all the matches go, that is one of the closer matches.
Yeah, indeed. I like the way Giorgi plays. She's not afraid to anyone when she steps on court. Most of the times the match is on her racket, and that's also and that's always an advantage, especially when she's priced around evens, as Alex mentioned. I'm just looking at the prices. She's exactly at 2 at Pinnacle. She's a very dangerous player, and in a good day she can beat almost anyone. Rybarikova on hard court is not so effective as she is on grass. I think there is a good hype on her, a lot of hype after her performance in Wimbledon, but she has been far from impressive so far on hard court. I believe she lost against Kirsten Flipkens in the qualifying of New Haven. She hasn't been very impressive. This surface is not the best for her, and I think that overall this match is more on Giorgi's racket, and for that reason the value lies on the Italian to win.
Okay, what matches are you looking at for day one?
On the women's side tomorrow, one match that's, in my opinion, presents some value involves Roberta Vinci and Sloane Stephens. Stephens made a very good comeback. She was away from competition almost 1 year, but she's doing a great comeback. She reached the semifinals in Montreal and also in Cincinnati. She can play very well on these. Sorry, not Montreal, Toronto. The men's play in Montreal, in Toronto and Cincinnati. She can play very well on the big stages. Before that injury, she was known for playing her best on the Grand Slams. But the prices that we have at this moment seems too low for her to win. She's around 1.24, I think, against Roberta Vinci, and the Italian is famous for playing her best tennis in the US Open. It's one of the players that we were mentioning before. Although she has been very, very poor throughout 2017. Once she reaches New York, she becomes a different player. She likes the conditions. She reached the final in 2015, and her game style is never easy with that tricky backhand slice. I think that Vinci can create some problems, and when looking at value, I think that the value is on the Italian. Looking at the money line at this moment for Vinci, we can find her around 4.5, I think. Let me just check the price on Pinnacle at this moment.
Yeah, I have 4.5.
Even higher than that, 4.85 on Pinnacle, even higher than that. I think that's too high. I wouldn't be surprised to see an upset, or going with the spread. The +5 is also around evens. That's also a good approach on the Italian.
Interesting. Okay. Any other matches that either of you looking at headed into day one on the women's side?
Yeah, one match that Alex mentioned, we have Maria Sharapova against Simona Halep. I think that will be a very interesting match to follow. In my opinion, the key for those two matches is in two different things. One of them is in Simona's head. Exactly. The only reason why she's not world number one and won Grand Slams is her head. I don't like her mindset on court. She many times she appears on court almost defeated. And Sharapova is a player who has the edge. As Alex mentioned, Simona never won a single match against his opponent. Sharapova won their previous 6 encounters. And although Maria hasn't played many matches lately due to the suspension and also some physical problems, she knows how to win these mental battles. She's one of the best in the tennis history in terms of being of mental strength, and she can create some problems to Simona here. She's a big underdog, 2.80 for Sharapova to win, and it's a very high price. And also the other key that I think that can make the difference is Maria's serve. She can serve very well on a good day, but also sometimes she struggles to find her rhythm and making a lot of double faults. And if she's not serving well, Simona will have good chances because she's one of the best returners in the game. So waiting for this match, seeing the first couple of games, how Simone is handling that mentally, how is her body language, and also how Maria is serving can be the key here. But looking at the current prices, I'll have to say that the value is on Sharapova due to her mental edge, and also the fact that Halep had a very poor performance against Muguruza, and I'm not sure if she's completely over that match.
Interesting.
Halep is the pressure is on Halep because Maria Sharapova doesn't have anything to lose or to demonstrate to someone. She is back on the WTA after her suspension with a wild card from the US Open, and as Joao mentioned, she doesn't have a lot of matches in the last period of time, but her phenomenal serve and her phenomenal physical game is doing a lot of damage to Halep. So the pressure will be on Halep. If she will cope good with the pressure, we might look at 2-0 on the number of sets, But you never know when Halep is playing,
Yeah. Is this a match you're going to in-play bet, Alex, or one of the ones you've got your eyes on?
Yeah, of course. First of all, I will for sure enjoy the match with a beer or something, and if I will find any value, for sure that I will share my in-play tips with our friends that are following us.
All right, perfect stuff. Heading over to... Sorry, go on.
Sorry, Timothy Maiden. How do you think about the Venus chances in the U.S. Open? We talked about Timothy, and I think that from my point of view, Venus will do some great matches at the beginning, but she will not go so far in the tournament. But maybe Joao has a different opinion about that.
Yeah, I think that Venus, in terms of value betting, looking at the prices that the players have to win the tournament, I think that she has a pretty good price. I'm not saying that she's going to win or even going into the final rounds, but based on what she did so far in the previous Grand Slam events, reaching the final of the Australian Open and Wimbledon, and also last year in the US, she reached the final. The fact that she always brings her best in the big tournaments, and the way she played in recent months, she can create some problems, and the price for her to win, as Natalie mentioned, is at 21 at Bet365. I think that looking at all the players that are involved in terms of money line to win the tournament, that's the most valuable one in my opinion.
Yeah, I think there's value, definitely. But Alex, you don't think that you just don't think that she'll, because it is definitely could be a cashing out option for sure.
Yeah, for sure. If we have a cashing out option, for sure that as a long play, as a dark horse, not necessarily a dark horse, but as a long play, yeah, 21, you can afford to put $10 and maybe later on to cash out. But me personally, I don't think that you will win the tournament now.
All right. Just got another question as well. And guys are watching, honestly, any questions, this is what we're here for. We've got Dalo4 saying, I can see Barty and Konju going over. Anybody share those opinions or disagree?
I think so. I think it can be a pretty close match. The last time I looked at the prices, I think Barty was around 1.55. Let me just check. But Barty, personally, I like her game style. I think that she's one of the most talented players in the game. But mentally, I'm not sure if she's going to be a champion, because I've seen a couple of times where she choked under pressure, not able to play her best tennis on the important moments. And that's something that's going to already cost her some defeats this year. And on the other hand, Konju is one of the hardest hitters in the WTA. She likes to outplay her opponents in a good day. She's similar to Georgia on that, hitting the ball very strong, can outplay anyone in a good day. And I think that Konju will create some problems here. In terms of value, it's definitely on the Croatian, and I agree also that it should be a close encounter. But in terms of only on value, it's on the Croatian side.
Okay. Alex, any thoughts?
Yeah, but I think that it will be a close game. I agree totally with what Joao said, and we have also another match that is looking the same. Heather Watson versus Alize Cornet. I think that it will be the same close game as the other one that we mentioned. So yeah, take a look at the overs in terms of games in both games.
All right. Moving over now to men's singles, and obviously we said at the beginning of the show, Andy Murray is out. You've got Roger Federer and Nadal, who are the two favourites, followed by Zverev. Again, difference of opinion. Some people think that Zverev will win the title. Others think he is too young, not quite his time yet. But as far as Federer and Nadal go, I would say the court lends more to Federer's style of play. Alex, we got Joao's opinion on Friday, but what are your thoughts on the men's outright? Any favourites at this particular time? Any value? What are you thinking?
You know that I love Roger Federer.
I
I
do
will be
know.
really happy to see him winning another Grand Slam. He has a great career. I think that he is the best ever tennis player from the world. Doesn't matter if Nadal won a lot of Roland Garros titles or stuff like that, but I think that Federer is the best. But we have really good players coming from the back, like Dominic Thiem, like Alexander Zverev. Another good chance is to see Marin Cilic reach semi-final or even final. He plays really good on hardcore. Rafa Nadal, no, I'm not taking him because this is not his favorite surface. Yes, we saw him that he started to compete really good also on other surfaces, not only on clay at Roland Garros. But I don't see him arriving so far. We have Nick Kyrgios. We have a lot of really good players that might have a chance. But yes, I'm going with Federer, and but I saw some really good odds for reaching the final. Alexander Zverev at 3 right now, so that's a really good approach. Or Marin Cilic at 6.5, another really good approach.
Yeah.
To reach the final.
Yeah. Now we've got seem to have more injuries on the men's side. Obviously, Serena is a big one out on the women's side, which really sort of throws things out. But on the men's side, we do have some really big names out. So starting with obviously day one, which matches are you looking at, Alex, that you think either present some value or are just interesting from a betting stance?
Yeah, Gilles Simon is coming to the US Open without playing any US Open Series matches this year. He will play against Sam Querrey. We know that Sam Querrey is a really good server. We know him that he's playing in front of his people. So I'm taking Sam Querrey with minus 1.5 Asian handicap in sets. So minus 1.5 sets Asian handicap at an odd of 1.68 with Unibet right now.
Okay, are you looking at that match?
Sorry, Natalie, sorry to disturb you.
Okay.
Dale in the men's, I quite like Denis Shapovalov. It's on my notes here, Denis Shapovalov to beat Medvedev at 1.9. A really, really good youngster. I think that he will have a really good career, and he will start with the right foot to the US Open.
Okay, what do you think of Alex's match there? The first one he started with, is that do you share those opinions, Joao?
On Shapovalov, I don't have a very, very strong opinion. I think it will be a very close match. Just to mention, you have even better than 1.9. You have 2 at Bet365 at this moment. So you have an even better price than you mentioned on Shapovalov. He's a very talented young player, made a great campaign in Montreal. Already played the qualifying, which is always an advantage. As we mentioned last Friday, playing the qualifying gives some game rhythm, and also the players are more used to the conditions. And although Medvedev is a very talented player, he's also very inconsistent. I think that can be a close match where Shapovalov has some good chances and has the advantage of having already played the qualifying. On the other match that Alex mentioned, Gilles Simon, I don't know if she played any Masters, but he played one tournament in New Haven last week, and he was absolutely terrible. He lost on the doubles and lost in the singles against Damir Dzumhur, if I'm not mistaken. He was leading something like 4-1 up in the third set with 2 breaks up, and he managed to lose 6-4. He's not New Haven, sorry, the women's played in New Haven. It was in Winston-Salem. Simon is struggling to find his rhythm on serve, not feeling very confident, and I think that Sam with the home support can be a very dangerous opponent. And although I don't like personally to bet against Simon because he's a very tricky opponent and sometimes finds a way to win, and you don't really understand how. But the way he has been playing lately throughout this year, I think that Sam will get the job done in 3 or 4 sets, as Alex mentioned.
Okay, and what matches are you looking at, Joao?
And for tomorrow, one match that I think presents some very interesting value and definitely deserves to keep an eye is between Andreas Heidermauer from Austria and Evgeny Donskoy from Russia. Heidermauer is a former top 50. He was away from competition almost 2 years due to injury, but he's starting to return to the tour. He made a great campaign 2 weeks ago on the Challenger Tour. It was on clay, but still he played very well, reached the final, defeated on the way a very tough opponent, Florian Mayer. He already played a couple of times in the US Open, reached the second round, I think 2 times already, and he has a big serve. He's always a great competitor, and I think that the price for him to win against Donskoy, it's at 4 at this moment at Bet Victor, is extremely high. Donskoy is a great ball striker, but also very inconsistent, and before this tournament he played also on the Challenger Tour, and he retired from his previous match due to illness. Not sure how if he's fully recovered from that or not, but the price on Heidermauer is too high at 4. This should be a much closer match than the odds suggest, and also taking the Austrian to win just 1 set at 1.60 at Pinnacle is a good approach for this encounter.
All right, is it just that match you're looking at for tomorrow, or any other any other matches, even game totals, things like that you've got your eye on?
No, I have 2 more that I think they present some value, or at least some interest. The other one of those involve Lucas Lacko and Benoit Paire. Paire has one of the best backhands in the game, although his forehand is quite terrible. Throughout his childhood, he had some physical problems on his wrist, and he couldn't develop very well his forehand, and that's one of the reasons why his forehand is so bad, but also his backhand is so good. But he's always a very inconsistent player, and after his poor defeat in Cincinnati, he returned to France. He said that he was feeling sick, struggling with the virus, and couldn't breathe on court. He said he would try to compete in New York. Not sure if he's fully recovered or not. The sports books are well aware of that problem, because we have Paire at 1.50 to win against Lacko. The player from Slovakia lost in the qualifying, but got a chance to enter the main draw as a lucky loser. I think that this is an interesting match to follow, especially see how Benoit is feeling, and if he's not feeling very well, if he's showing a bad body language, it could be a good opportunity to bet on Lacko. At this moment, without knowing for sure if Paire is recovered or not, I think that the price for Lacko at 2.80 doesn't present enough value, but if Paire shows some problems, even if you get a lower price than this, I think that Lacko has a good opportunity. The other match...
Not only that with Benoit Paire, even if he is 100% fit, his mental problem is an issue every time. Exactly.
Yeah, mentally he's never at 100%. But the other match also involves a player that is never 100% mentally, is Bernard Tomic. He's a very talented player. He was pointed as having a bright career ahead of him, but mentally he's struggling to find the proper motivation to compete. He decided to skip all the US Open series after his defeat in Wimbledon against Misha Zverev. He said after that match that he was struggling to find the proper motivation. And although it's never easy to trust on Tomic, I think that he can give a good fight to Gilles Muller. The player from Luxembourg is a big server. Both of them have great serves, and Bill Wynn at this moment has a huge price, in my opinion, in the market, tie-breaking the match, to have at least one tie-break at 1.72. Both are great servers, and this price is very high, in my opinion, to have at least one tie-break. They played already 6 times, and the last 3 matches we had 4 tiebreaks, if I'm not mistaken. So it's the trend has been to have at least one tiebreak, and I think that the price 1.72 to have at least one tiebreak in the best of 5 set matches, and in the only Grand Slam tournament that has a tiebreak in the 5th set, I think it's too high and presents a huge value.
All right. So,
Listening Joao speaking about tennis, you know how good it is. You wanna applaud, you know, you wanna have a crowd in the back and applaud because he's incredible. He has so many information that he's giving to us, you know.
yeah, it's pretty sharp is our Joao. Alex, any other bets here before we wrap up this video and head on to day 2?
No, that's it from day one. Cannot wait to talk about day 2 action after this video. Yeah, in we have also other interesting matches, but I will follow them in play and I will share my in-play tips with you guys watching and on our Twitter handle, Bookmakers News and Odds Market. Be there or miss the profit.
Okay, and also as well, we've got SBR Sports Picks, and I believe Joao also does videos over on Facebook. Is that right, Joao? Sportsbook Review.
Yeah, exactly. Every Sunday.
Yeah, every
Sunday and Thursday.
Perfect.
Throughout the year.
Wraps, yeah, throughout the year. Wraps things up there for day 1. Heading over to day 2 now. See you there. Thanks for watching.